I never imagined I'll be starting over at this stage of my life. Maybe you didn't either. Maybe by now you thought certain things would already be settled. Maybe you thought your career would be further ahead. Maybe you thought your business would be thriving. Maybe you thought you would have financial freedom by now. Maybe you thought you would have more clarity. Maybe you thought life would look different by now. And if we're being honest, one of the hardest things about adulthood is realizing that life doesn't always follow the timeline we created in our heads. Welcome back to Unmask with Ladun. Today I want to talk about something that many people experience but don't often discuss openly, which is starting over, especially when you're at an age where you thought you would already be established. You know, when we were younger, we tend to imagine life as a straight line. Go to school, study, get a good job, build your career, start that business, get married, and live happily ever after. Simple, predictable, clean, neat. But we now know that life rarely unfolds that way. Life has detours, life has delays, life has disappointments, life has unexpected opportunities, life has seasons that force you to begin again, and nobody really prepares you for that. I also think one of the reasons starting over feels so difficult is because it's not just practical, it's emotional. You're not only rebuilding a business, you are rebuilding confidence, you are not only rebuilding finances, you are rebuilding belief. You are not only rebuilding your life, you are rebuilding your identity. Because every new beginning asks a difficult question. Can you believe in yourself again? Can you trust yourself again? Can you hope again? Can you try again? You see, I know what it feels like to look around and think everyone is moving ahead. Everyone seems certain. Everyone seems successful. Everyone seems to know exactly what they are doing. At least that's how it looks, even if that's not the truth. Because you see, one thing I've learned over time is this: everyone is fighting battles you cannot see. Everyone is navigating uncertainty in some area of their life. Everyone is learning lessons behind closed doors. Everyone has moments where they wonder whether they are doing enough. The difference is just that most people don't post these moments. They don't announce those moments. They don't even share those moments sometimes. So we end up comparing our own reality to someone else's highlight reel. And comparison always tells the same lie. You know what the lie is? That you are behind. One of the most dangerous beliefs I have ever heard was the belief that my timeline determined my worth. That if certain things hadn't happened by a certain age, I had somehow failed. That if I wasn't where I thought I should be by now, I was falling behind. That if my journey looks different from other people's journey, then something must be wrong with me. But now I see how unfair that was, because life isn't a race and purpose is not a competition. Two people can be the same age and be in completely different seasons. One may be building, one may be healing. One may be beginning, one may be expanding. One may be learning lessons that will prepare them for the next chapter. Different seasons, different journeys, different assignments. I think one of the hardest parts of starting over is grieving the version of life you expected. And we don't talk enough about that. Sometimes you are not grieving a person. You are grieving a plan. You are grieving an expectation. You are grieving a future you thought would happen differently. And grief has a way of making us look backwards. It keeps us asking, what if? What if I had started earlier? What if I had made different decisions? What if I had taken another opportunity? What if I had known then what I know now? But I am coming to learn that healing doesn't happen in the land of what if. Healing happens when we return to what now. What can I do from where I am now? What can I build from here? What can I learn from this season? What opportunities still exist in front of me now? One thing I deeply believe is that many people are underestimating the power of a fresh start. Because a fresh start doesn't mean you lost everything. A fresh start simply means you are bringing wisdom into a new season. It means you are not starting from zero. You are starting from experience. You are starting from lessons. You are starting from resilience. You are starting from growth. You are starting from everything life has already taught you. And that's completely different. In fact, very different. When I look back at my own journey, there are moments that didn't make sense while I was living them. Moments I wished had happened differently. Moments I wanted to escape so bad. Moments I wanted to rush through. In fact, moments I wanted to die. But now I can see that many of those moments were shaping me, building me, preparing me, teaching me things success alone could never teach. And maybe that's true for you too. Maybe this season isn't evidence that you have failed. Maybe it's evidence that you are being formed. Maybe you are learning lessons that will become foundations. Maybe you are developing character that will sustain the future you are praying for. Maybe this chapter isn't punishment after all. Maybe it's preparation. Who knows? If you're listening today and you feel like you are starting over, I want you to hear something. You are not behind. No. You are not disqualified. No. You are not too old. No. You are not too late. No. And your best chapters are not automatically behind you simply because life didn't unfold according to your original schedule. You know what? Some of the most meaningful transformations happen after people stop trying to recover their old timeline and start embracing their actual journey. Maybe the question isn't, why am I starting over? Maybe the question is, what is this new beginning trying to teach me? Because trust me, every season carries a lesson. Every detour carries a gift. Every ending creates space for a new beginning. And sometimes the life we are meant to build can only emerge after the life we expected doesn't happen. So today, I want to leave you with a question like I always do. If you stopped focusing on where you thought you should be, what would become possible from where you are now? Take a moment and think about that. Because your future is not waiting for the perfect timeline. It is waiting for the next step. Thank you so much for joining me today for another episode of Unmask with Lado. And I will see you next time. Until then, remember, you are not behind and it is never too late to begin again. So off you go. You can start again today. I would really love to hear from you. Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.